This move is going to show you how to make a gripper using a spur gear from the SolidWorks toolbox. So start with a new file and create a new assembly file. So we don't need to save, we don't need to open one, so cancel that. Tick that to begin the assembly. Look in here and see if you have got, I'll just go back out of there a little bit. Yeah, see if you've got the toolbox installed. If you haven't, we'll show you how to get that done later. Then inside of the toolbox there's a whole lot of parts, but they're drawn using different standards, and we want the one using the ISO standard, so we go in there, open that, and you go down and you can find power transmission, so open that, and in there you've got gears, so open that, and here's a spur gear, so just grab the spur gear, grab it, chuck it there. Okay, now the spur gear might not be the way you want it at the moment, but there's over here on the side, there's places where you can change it. So for this one, we're going to let the module be 1 and the number of teeth be 20, that's okay. The pressure angle can be 20, that's fine. How thick the gear is, we're setting to 6 millimeters at the moment, and the hole through the center, we're setting to 3 millimeters, and that's all we have to do for that. We can just say that's what we want, and we've got a gear. We don't want any more of them, so we'll get rid of that, and there is our gear. Unfortunately, that's an assembly file at the moment, and we want this to be saved as a part so that we can use it to build the gripper onto. So go to File, Save As. We can rebuild it, that's alright. Save As, and here I might save it as my gear, but the important thing is to change this from an assembly to a part. That's disappeared off the top of the screen, so I'll just change it to part. There we go, we've changed it to a solid part. It's called My Gear, and it's got that solid part suffix. And in my case it's going on the desktop, so that's done. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to continue. Now, we don't really want that file anymore, so we can close it. And then we can go File, Open, and it was called Gripper Gear, I think. There it is. We don't want to proceed with feature recognition. So we've now got this gear opened as a part. Okay. So I'm just going to look straight at it. And then right click on it and draw a new sketch. So the thing that we're wanting to pick up is a cylinder. Whose diameter is about 36, I think. So we'll put the diameter in. And then we'll just bring this circle so it's sitting. This is the thing that we want to pick up, and I want the center of this circle to be more or less in the middle of these two gears, so I'm going to put it about there. Okay, that's the thing that we want to pick up. So what we want the gripper to do is to follow around this line so it will nicely match that circle. And the rest of the gripper we'll put out here somewhere, so I'm going to do a 3-point arc. and I'm going to start about there, and I'm going to go around to about there, click onto that there, and the diameter of that, or the radius of that arc, you can see it coming up on the screen there. It's about 27. I'll set it to be about 28. And then I'm going to add some straight lines, maybe one from there up to there, and another one from there into there and across to there. Then I'm going to get the trim tool and trim some stuff out. Okay, so that's going to be my gripper. So I've finished trimming that, and now we just need to extrude that. So go to Features, Extruded Base, and we're going to go the other way, and we're going to go 6 millimeters. Tab on that and go Enter, tick on that, and there we have a gripper. Okay, so that's our right gripper. Now you might think that to make the left gripper you just make 2 right ones and then just turn it around like that, and you've got the right one there and the left one there. But there's a problem with that. If the left gripper is made to be a mirror image of the right one, when you put the two together they won't mesh. You can see the tips of the gears are touching each other and the gears aren't meshing. So what we need to do is we need to take on the other gripper, this extra bit that we've added needs to be rotated around by, so that that tip goes into a valley on the other gear. With this particular gear we've made 16 teeth, and so the angle between that tip and that tip is 360 divided by 16. But if we only want to go half that distance to here, we need to do 360 degrees divided by 32, and that works out to be 11.5 degrees. So this whole top half of the gripper needs to be rotated around the centre by 11.5 degrees. And when we do that, you can see that the two halves will mesh. So save this one, call it the left gripper, and then we'll start on this rotation process. Okay, we'll look straight at it again. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go into the, we'll open up the sketch again. So we'll edit that sketch, and we'll go in here now, which is Move Entities, pull that down, and we will rotate entity. And here it wants us to select the entities to rotate, so we'll select all of that. And here it wants us to define a centre of rotation. So we will look at that and select that. And here it wants us to specify the angle, so 11.25 degrees. And we will do that, and there it goes. And when you do that, you find that these things don't line up on the teeth very nicely anymore. So what I'm going to do is leave that rotation there and trim this line, that line. And now I will draw some more lines. I might take that line to there, to there, and to there. So that's joined on nicely again. Finish that and exit the sketch. And now we have saved our right gripper. So go File, Save As, Right Gripper. And that's one way of making a left and a right hand gripper.